Hello everyone, welcome to iExamB. You may subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that you do not miss any updates on our upcoming videos. In this video, I'm going to talk about a linear programming problem question. How do you formulate a linear programming problem in order to find the solution for this particular problem? So these are general day-to-day life problems that you see around yourself. For example, for an entrepreneur, or how will he going to maximize his profits? This is one of the major objectives for an entrepreneur. Now, this entrepreneur faces a lot of constraints in the business. So given these constraints, what is the maximum profit that he can get? Such kind of problems are formulated through linear programming problem, and solutions are found out using this linear programming problem technique. Also, for instance, it could be the possibility that how could he minimize his cost given the several constraints that he faces in his business. So this is a very interesting topic, and a lot of times you generally get one question at least in your RBI grade B DEPR examination from this topic, and as well as from the in the IES Indian Economic Service examination. So this topic is important for both these examinations which are upcoming. Now see, here I have a problem question. It says that there is one kind of cake which requires 200 gram of flour and 25 gram of fat, whereas there another kind of cake which requires only 100 gram of flour and 50 gram of fat. Now you're required to formulate this problem and solve it using the linear programming technique. And what do you have to do? You have to basically find the total maximum number of cakes that can be made if you have 5 kg of flour and 1 kg of fat. So you are assuming that there is no shortage of other ingredients that are required in making the cake, and you have 5 kg of flour and 1 kg of fat. So assuming that, how many number of cakes that can be made, okay, given these constraints. So here this is one kind of cake, and this is, let's say, the other kind of cake. Now we are going to formulate this into a question. So how are we going to formulate it? See, we will assume that the first kind of cake is X and the second kind of cake, let's say, is Y. So your objective is to maximize the total number of cakes, that is X and Y, right? Now the constraints are that the amount of flour that can be used cannot be greater than 5 kg, and the first kind of cake we knew that it required 200 grams of flour, whereas the other kind of cake required only 100 grams of flour. Here in the question, 200 grams of flour and 100 grams of flour, whereas the fat is required of 25 grams by the first kind of cake and of 50 gram by the second kind of cake, and we have 5 kg and 1 kg respectively of flour and fat. So here we are formulating this. So 200 grams of flour and 100 grams of fat, this should be less than equal to 5000 grams or 5 kg of flour. Also here it says that the amount of fat cannot be greater than 1 kg. So 25 grams of fat is required by one of the kind of cake, and the other cake requires 50 grams. So it should be less than equal to 1000. We have converted basically now here in this equation everything is in grams. So either you can write everything in terms of kg, or you can write everything in terms of grams. Then you can solve this particular question. So now we have the constraints. Also we know that the number of cakes that can be made cannot be negative, so X and Y both have to be non-negative, that is both have to be greater than equal to 0, right? X is also greater than equal to 0, Y is also greater than equal to 0. So we can now concisely write the problem as maximize X plus Y. We have to find the maximum number of cakes subject to the constraint 200x plus 100y less than equal to 5000 and 25x plus 50y less than equal to 1000, and x and y greater than equal to 0. So So this is our problem. So first we had a problem in form of sentences. Now we interpreted this and we have converted this problem mathematically. Now once you have formulated this linear programming problem, now you are going to solve it. So in order to solve a linear programming problem, there are two kind of methods that are used. One is the graphical method and the other is a simplex method. So graphical method is more easier, and it is advised to use graphical method if it is not mentioned to use which method that you have to use to find the solutions, and you can visualize these constraints and the objective function, the feasible region, and so on. So it becomes really faster to solve it, and it's much easier. So now we are going to look at this through the graphical method here in this video. So now in order to solve this, what do? We first draw the constraint line. So basically now I am drawing everything. This is x and y are positive, so I am taking the first quadrant only, and immediately everything will fall here in the first quadrant, right? So x and y are positive, that means everything is inside here. Now the two constraints I need to plot. So first is that 200x plus 100y less than equal to 5,000. So you ignore the inequality sign at the moment and you plot this equation. 200x plus 100y is equal to 5,000. Or you can basically divide the whole equation by 100. What do you get? 2x plus y is equal to 50. So this is what I have to plot here, right? So when x is 0, what is the value of y? Y is 50. Let's say 50 is here, okay? And when y is 0, what is the value of x? X would be 25. 50 divided by 2. So if let's say this is 50, this would be somewhere around 25. So this is my line, okay? This is my line, the first constraint. Now the second constraint is what? 25x plus 50y is equal to 1,000. The constraint is less than equal to 1,000, but we have to plot it, so I am taking the equality sign and not the inequality sign. Now in order to do this, I also now divide this whole equation by 25 in order to simplify it, so it becomes much easier. So this will be x plus 2y is equal to 40, right? Now I'm going to plot this equation. So when x is 0, y is 20. So 20 would be somewhere here. And when y is 0, x is 40. So 40 would be somewhere here. So this is my other line. Now how do we find out the feasible region in this case? So now we use the inequality symbol. So it says 2x plus y less than equal to 50. So less than equal to 50 meaning that it's below this line, right? And this equation says x plus 2y less than equal to 40. So again it is below this, right? So your common region which satisfies all these four constraints would be this area, right? This area satisfies all the constraints. Now we know that we have to maximize this function within this area. So the technique that is used is corner method technique is used. So we take the corner points. What are the corner points? A, B and C. These are the corner points. Now basically why do we take the corner points? Because we know we have to maximize a function. So basically if you take this feasible region, if you go from this side to that side, basically this is the maximum point. If you're going from here to upwards, this is the maximum point. So basically the maximum or the minimum of an objective function can lie only at the corner points only. So we take the corner points A, B and C, right? Now at these corner points A, B and C, A is what? A is 0, 40, B is 20, 0 and C is 0, 0. Now at these corner points we are going to find out the value of Z. That is our objective function x plus y. So at this particular point the value of Z is 40, at this point the value of Z is 20, and at this point the value of Z is 0. So it is getting maximized here at this value, right? Hence answer is this point A. This point A is giving you the maximum value. That means so that you can get a total of 40 number of cakes made. So this is how you basically solve a linear programming problem. Had there been a case of minimization, then this would have been the value. So but since you have to maximize x and y, this is the value here. I hope you like this video. Now we also have prepared previous year questions for Indian Economic Service examination. You can have a look at that PDF from the description of this video. You can also avail the test series that we have rolled out for you. You can enroll it into the test series. This is the schedule of the test series. We started it from 17th of March, but even if you didn't join that time, you can still join and prepare better for the Indian Economic Service examination. The notification will be out around 19th of April. So if you wish, you can enroll for the course. And also we have a course for RBI DEPR. You may check that out as well. So if you have other queries, you can call on this number, or you can also email at this particular email ID. Thank you.